Hi everyone. I decided not to torture Angus this week. I was afraid that I might be accused of, what is it, elder abuse.
That's not how I would frame it, actually. Thank you very much. Well, I'm still a little bit out of breath having walked up that hill, so maybe I can't really argue with that.
We're actually on our hike in Topanga in the beautiful Santa Monica Mountains, and we thought that we would talk about how on earth have the two of us managed to stay married for 22 years. It's pretty miraculous, really, considering everything we've been through.
Yeah, it's quite something.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
Oh, so well, this might need to be a two-parter at least, I imagine.
Or maybe a 20-parter.
What is the question you're asking me? Are you asking me a question or just asking me for thoughts?
Did you not hear what I said?
Well, I think I was so overwhelmed by what you said that I couldn't even compute how I would put that into maybe a short 5-minute piece. I don't know. Say it again?
How have you managed to stay married to me for this long?
Thank you. I would say my unflinching sense of optimism has probably kept me married to you this long. Well, I think initially, or maybe for the first 15 years at least, I think it was my unflinching sense of optimism.
Well, what does that mean? I was such a train wreck that you had to just be optimistic?
Yeah, I think when I first met you,
yes.
You were definitely a bit of a nutter when I first met you.
Go on.
And I think that in my mind, I felt that you would change, or actually maybe I thought that I could change you. I think maybe when we were first married, I fancied myself as a bit of a wife whisperer. And then when I realized maybe after a few years that I was failing miserably in that objective, I realized I became a wife shouter. And things sort of shifted round. I think I became the nutter and you actually became the more stable one. I guess in the sense of all the work that you were doing, you know, you're going through your training, your MFT, etc., all those personal growth seminars that you would go to, you at least became a little bit more stable, and I guess I went in the other direction. But what's for me, I guess, when I reflect on our marriage, I think that yeah, you know, that I did remain optimistic. I think that we would have fights, we would get into it, and then in the heat of the moment I probably would hate you with a passion, but then when we would come out of those situations, then, you know, I would see how, you know, that I really adored and loved you, and that our marriage was, you know, apart from the fights, felt pretty solid. So that's what kept me tethered to you all those years. And then I think that when I was introduced to this understanding, I then realized that even in the heat of battle, when we locked horns, that my compass point, or our compass point as a couple, was set towards well-being. And that was kind of reassuring. So I wouldn't get so amped up in the same way. Even though I was somewhat sped up and would want to lash out, I'd at least know at the back of my mind that I was being pulled, or we were being pulled back towards well-being. And I think that, you know, an analogy just comes forward for me around that. It's kind of like the ancient sailors used to think that the world was flat, and that eventually, you know, in rough water or a storm, that they would like fall off the edge of the earth. And that's kind of like how I used to feel in an argument. And then when I finally found out that the world was round, in the sense that our compass point is well-being, then I realized that I wasn't going to fall off the edge, and that I would come back to calmer waters. So yeah, you know, I'm really thankful that I had that optimistic streak, and that kept us together, or, you know, kept me, you know, feeling like that there was a future as far as we were concerned. But now, knowing that, you know, that we have well-being as our true north, I feel like I could negotiate through pretty much any argument, however bad it may seem at the time.
And maybe you went back from being a wife shouter to a wife whisperer again, or maybe a wife lover. How's that?
Oh, wife lover, yes.
I think it's a good place to end. You'll hear my side next week. Bye,
okay,
everyone.
It'll be good. Stay tuned.